Second to last day, I'll be saying goodbye to the Skagit River and all this particular beauty of the Cascades and seeing something different on the coast very soon. It's treated me well. We're now on the wet side of Washington, as you can tell. And the clouds prove it. Mugs with the Mountains. And what's his name?
His name's Stephen Murray, and this is Sauk Mountain Pottery, and we're right at the base of Sauk Mountain, just outside of Concrete, Washington. And so he takes his inspiration from the area. You can see mugs like this, and they're all wood-fired, which means they're put in a Japanese-style climbing chamber kiln and fired to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is that kiln right here?
Yes, it is. Oh. So we can take a wander
take a
up
look?
there.
Okay, I'd love to see
And
it.
actually, my husband's throwing right now, so if you want, we'll take a wander up there and you can see him throw for a moment.
Molly Moon?
So the mountain is behind us. And it's socked in right now. But it's a beautiful mountain to climb. You drive up to about 4,500 feet and there's a switchback trail all the way to the top. And from the top of Sauk, you can see every mountain in the Cascade Range.
Wow.
And Mount Baker looks like you can touch it from there. You can't cross. This is Western Red Cedar, and it's waste product from making shakes and shingles for shake roofs.
Sure.
And when he moved here in 1975, there were so many shake mills and they had so much waste product, they were buying undeveloped land to dump their waste wood.
Oh, wow.
And he took one look at that and said, I can do that.
The original recycling. Wow, wonderful.
Yeah. So we have sheds of it. This is the Street of Broken Dreams.
Oh, yeah. It's like a Jewish wedding here.
This is the studio. I love. Where the magic happens.
Oh, wow.
My husband's in here making lanterns. He's about to sit down and throw. He can cycle back if he wants.
Sure.
We're giving a little vlog presentation, Stephen.
Yeah, I should warn you, you're on camera, so no profanity.
I saw you coming in.
Okay.
We're gonna wander up to see the count and then.
So you're on riding your bicycle, huh?
Yeah, I've been riding it from Boston, but in sections. So this is my final section.
Oh, in sections.
In sections, yes.
Not infection.
Oh, well, that's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. I had some pretty bad saddle sores in the first part of it.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was a wet summer.
After he's throwing them, he'll throw them.
Yeah.
And sit them on the wear board next to the potter's wheel. We'll come back and you'll get a little moment to see that. And then they sit overnight until they're leather hard, and then the following day he can come in and do these drawings. And so draws the mountains, the trees. These are flowers that he drew. There's irises up there.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then they sit and they air dry at their own speed until they're dry enough to be whisk fired in the electric.
And there's some pigments placed on these.
That's called slip. It's a colored clay. And so he puts that on before he does the drawing, and then carves away from the hollowware to remove the and see you've got platters there with a bear on. There's a good lining chamber kiln.
Okay.
So that the waste heat from the first chamber preheats the second chamber, so it's fuel efficient. They're called Japanese climbing chamber kilns, although originally the idea came from China and Japan and Korea.
Yeah.
But the Japanese used to have 10 or 12 chambers going up a natural hill, and they'd fire a year's worth of the village's pottery in one firing.
That's very smart.
And they'd have kiln firers that went village to village firing the pot. So the firebox is over here.
Okay.
The pots get loaded into both chambers all the way to the top. It holds about 400 objects, or 2 months worth of work.
Wow.
The heat comes with the flame in through the flue. It goes up around the pots. It gets drawn by the chimney into the second chamber. It goes up around the pots and out the chimney.
I'm glad I stopped.
And so can you see the mirror in the woods over there?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
You can see the flame coming out of the top of the chimney in that mirror. And as long as there's flame coming out of the top of the chimney, that
going
means
well.
you don't have to stoke it. Once the flame dies back, you need to stoke the kiln again.
Ah.
So it's one of the many ways he judges what he has to do.
Wow. Oops, sorry.
Shit. No, see what happened is. So what do you teach?
I'm a Spanish teacher.
I have enough foreign languages to get arrested anywhere.
Yeah. You know all the swear words and.
No, I took 6 years of public school French, and it didn't do me a bit of good.
Yeah. Well, you have to use it. You have to practice it. That's pretty much the rule. Wow.
And this is a locally occurring clay. Local in that it's from Anacortes.
Oh well, yeah.
We have a customer that manages a gravel pit down there, and this clay is predominant in that pit.
Huh.
So Bill gave it to me and said, "Here, have fun." And I've yet to give him the mug that I made him with the color.
It's a great deal.
We're on Highway 20, which the North Cascades Highway, which is a rural and scenic highway, subject to the Ladybird Johnson rules of rural and scenic highways, which means you cannot put warning signs out for your business. And so we've had a lot of people that would like a little sign, and we actually own property further down the street. We'd like to put a little sign saying Sauk Mountain Pottery, next left, or coming up for a quarter of a mile. But it's 25 years ago when we inquired about that, it was a $500 a day fine.
Wow.
Because they don't want the highway littered with signage. You know, it will take from the beauty of this area. So it's just agricultural. They can, during the season, they can have big signs. The unfortunate reality is if you can't put little signs out, people get these big glaring ones, neon, you know, or something like that. But anyway,